Conflict in Virginia and Bacon's Rebellion. From the 1640s to the 1670s.
I'm Owiana Ward.
I'm Kiana De Diego.
And I'm Amelia Palm. Key terms that you should know: mercantilism, economic theory that trade, colonies, and the accumulation of wealth leads to military and political strength. Militia, military force that engages in rebel activities and opposes a regular army. Susquehannock people, a Native American group from the Chesapeake Bay Area, and an indentured servant, a short-term servant that entered into servitude with promise of land, freedom, wealth, transport to the Americas. Setting the stage. In 1640s, statutes and codes were passed by the government in Virginia stating that indentured African American servants must be differentiated from white indentured servants. By the 1680s, race was even more identified into permanent indentured servitude. This caused the unsettlement that led to conflict in Virginia and Bacon's Rebellion. Problems throughout Virginia. Economic struggles. Price of tobacco decreases. Virginia competes with Maryland and the Carolinas over commercial growing. English market decreases. Price of English manufactured goods increase and higher taxation. Hailstorms, hurricanes, drought, and in 1675, the Doeg Native Americans raided a plantation owned by Thomas Matthew, which resulted in the death of 7 Doeg natives. Out of retaliation, colonists attacked Susquehannocks, fueling full-blown Native American raids. Conflict in Virginia. In 1640, the Virginia court sentenced African-American indentured slave John Punch into permanent servitude and was the first racist case that was politically recorded. In 1642, William Berkeley tried to establish the Anglican Church in Virginia to force the religion. In 1650, Virginians defeated the Powhatan tribe, which was one of the contributing factors to the raid, and in 1676, Bacon's Rebellion begins.
Okay, so a key person to know is Nathaniel Bacon, and he was born January 2nd, 1647. He was raised in England and moved to Virginia in 1674 with his wife, who was related to Berkeley through marriage. He was a member of the council and one of the leaders of Bacon's Rebellion, which lasted from 1776 to 1777. He unfortunately died October 26, 1676. So one of the quotes that Nathaniel Bacon was known for was, "No, may it please your honor, we will not hurt a hair of your head, nor any other man's. We are come for a commission to save our lives from the Indians, which you have so often promised, and now we will have it before we go." And basically here he's like promising that people in higher position would not get hurt through this like rebellion, and it actually was kind of a interesting quote to have because that's not the case. And then another important person is Governor William Berkeley, who, like we stated before, was related to Nathaniel Bacon, and he was born in 1605 in England. He was the governor and the longest lasting one for 17 years, from 1660 to 1677. He was discouraged. He was known for discouraging anything unpeaceful, like the oppression of religious minorities, and he also believed in peace over war. He also steered a middle course kind of between civil wars and compromise between colonists and natives to try to create peace, and he created the policies which actually sparked the upset and Bacon's Rebellion. One of the quotes that William Berkeley was known for is actually French, but the English translation is to be perceived or to perceive. And this basically talked about how him as a person thought of perceiving people and perceiving the way that things worked was very important in day-to-day life. And this is kind of how it led into the war and his thoughts on his rule.
Causes of the Bacon's Rebellion. First of all, land in Virginia became scarcer, and people in Virginia began to build immunity against diseases, which means more people were living to see the end of their indentured servitude, and more people were looking to gain land from those they were indentured to for so long. As increasingly large populations of unemployed, unmarried, and discontent, land-hungry young men emerged. Landless freemen lost their voting rights, and economic struggles along with weather conditions created immense losses, and the colonists were looking for something to use as a scapegoat, which they saw in Native Americans. Large-scale raids between Native Americans and colonists began. Governor William Berkeley continuously attempted and failed to create peace between the colonists and the natives. Berkeley eventually limited trade between natives and colonists and ordered new forts to be built, which increased taxation and further limited the power of impoverished whites. Bacon became a member of the Virginia Council and critiqued Berkeley's rule. As a result, Berkeley declared Bacon a rebel. Bacon gained support from sympathetic local landowners and those who wished to push back Native Americans in order to gain land. Bacon's Rebellion. Bacon's rebellion in Virginia began in 1676. On July 30th, Bacon, supported by his 600 followers, sent out the Declaration of the People of Virginia, further critiquing Berkeley's rule, declaring him corrupt, and accusing him of abusing his power. Bacon created a militia consisting of African American men and young white men against Native Americans. They raided Native American villages and killed many of them. Berkeley, who wants peace between natives and colonists, orders Bacon to stop. Rather than stop, Bacon and his rebellion marched to Jamestown on September 19th and set the capital on fire. As a result, Berkeley was forced to flee from Jamestown. End of Bacon's Rebellion. On October 26, 1676, Nathaniel Bacon dies suddenly of disease. Without a strong leader, the rebellion loses momentum. Berkeley hung over 20 rebels, and by January 1677, Berkeley's loyalists had put an end to the rebellion. Results of Bacon's Rebellion. Bacon's Rebellion was the most serious challenge to the royal authority prior to the American Revolution. Historians also view Bacon's Rebellion as a turning point in American slavery. Bacon fueled resentment in landless former indentured servants and created long-lasting tension between frontiersmen and plantation owners. The rebellion placed fear in plantation owners, and their search for less troublesome labor led to the rise of slavery rather than indentured servants in order to fuel the tobacco kingdom in Virginia. Here's an image of colonial Virginia. And here is our works cited. Thank you so much for watching.
Go sit over there. Go sit over there. Get to me.
Literally just 7 minutes. Please sit over there.
Please.